when you look at international movies, almost every movie is about a loser. And a poet or a musician always has to be a loser. He's kicked out of his house, and his wife runs away, or he gets into drugs, and finally there's a funeral, and or he's begging on the streets. So that's a very perverted way of looking at a musician. I feel like musicians are now, kind of ruling. And there's also the opposite of, you see Rolling Stones, and I met those people. I said, why can't we, there's always this question about, my son is a musician. Okay, yeah, but what job does he have? He's a musician. No, music is fine. It's like a hobby, right? No, that's his profession. Oh, okay. So they start judging a family in the social context. And also met a couple of families where they're doctors, and met a person who came from the funeral of the son because he wanted to be in music, and they said no, and he committed suicide. So it's all about happiness. It's all about, nobody has a permanent life on this earth, and whether you can make other people happy through your art, or you can, take them to transport them through your art, your work. So that was my thing. So why don't we do, with this perspective, a story, and have all the, eye candy in it, and challenge myself too for the music and many things. And so I got the perfect kind of director who was, willing to listen to, and also very stern on his stand, and perfect producers, ideal. And now Reliance has bought the movie, which is great. So they saw 30 minutes of it, and then straight taking this movie. So that's great encouragement for us. Yeah.
We see it how soon?
Next year.
Fantastic. So looking forward to that. Now getting to certain sensitive things. Krishna, you've written about a fairly sensitive topic in the first few pages of the book, first 20 pages, the conversion of embracing Islam by AR and his family. How difficult was it for you to understand the emotion and then translate it to a book so sensitive?
Actually, I understood completely.
You did?
I understood it completely because I think all of us in our own ways, sometimes we go through things in life and we think we know that the way out is to start with a clean slate. It is just realizing that your previous identity is something that probably isn't your purpose. To find your purpose, that isn't the identity that you're supposed to have. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. But it's just that to set you on the path that you finally are supposed to take, that's not the identity you need.
Yes.
So I think it can be a guru that we find, a school of thought that we are harboring. It could be an institution we're working in. It could be the kind of profession that we've taken up. It could be anything, but everything that we think defines us, but there is something missing. There's something that's not giving us that peace. It's not giving us that way forward to where we're supposed to go.
Sure.
So at some point, you just have to realize that you need to change yourself.
Yes.
You need to embrace a new way of life.
AR, I know this is personal, but there's
Clark Kent and Superman.
there's a part of Islam that you follow that is very middle of the road. It's very tolerant. There's an incident in the book where Rajiv Menon and you go out in the middle of the night looking for food, and you're looking for halal food. He's looking for beer with his food, right? And you probably find it at the same restaurant. In today's times, how important is it not to impose one's belief and one's faith onto another?
You can't impose anything. Whether it's, you can't ask your son or daughter to say, you should not take history, it's boring.
Absolutely.
You should take, economics, or you should take science, or you can't, because it's fine. As long as, it's education is about evolvement, mental evolvement. And it's a personal choice. And same way I felt like when I come out, what is internal comes out as my character. And it changes the way I speak, and it refines me. And I don't have to tell about that. I don't tell people what chords I use in my music, I use a major 7th, flattened 5th. That's why my music sounds great.
Right.
The music
Yes.
is good
Yes.
or bad.
Yes.
So that's what I think. Same way, I think personality-wise,
Yes.
my spiritual beliefs
Yes.
and which makes my character is my
Yes.
personal thing.
Yes.
And I always feel like a lot of people come to me, have told me, hey AR, if I convert to Islam, will I be successful too?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I keep quiet. Trick question.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, it's not about converting to Islam or not. It's whether you're finding the spot whether it presses the button in you.
Yes.
And so for me, the spiritual teachers, the Sufi teachers,
Yes.
taught me and my mom
Yes.
things which are very, very special.
Yes.
And so in many faiths are there.
Yes.
So this is the faith which we took,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
stand by it.
There's
And-
this- yes.
And
Please
it's
go.
beneficial. Whatever we do,
Yes.
it saved me from many
Yes.
falls, I would say, because of between every prayer there is,
Yes.
oh, the afternoon prayer, so I can't do this mischief.
Yes.
So the evening prayer is going to come, so still I can't do this.
Yes.
So it covers you,
Yes.
and the sense of peace comes in when early morning.
Yes.
People in other faiths do the same
Yes.
thing, and
Yes.
they are peaceful too.
Yes. Yes.
For me, this
Yes.
works.
Well, that's beautiful. Very, very beautifully said. You mentioned in passing about your mother. She's played a pivotal role in your life. She's not only given you life, your name, your mission in life. She is your moral compass, like Krishna says. A little bit about her.
So my mom is, I've told many times that one basic decision she did was, you have to do music because your father did music, and you are very opposite to other families. And she, I think, stood by that, and this is what you should do, because she felt that this is going to work for me. And if I think about that's one of the major decisions of my life. She had doubted that and said, no, you should do a job, you should study and become an accountant or something, I would have been finished. Nothing wrong with the accountants, they're very important. But
Krishna, why am I getting the feeling that behind all the quiet, there is a strong opinion maker in A.R. Rahman? There was Sufism you mentioned in the book, where you said spirituality is leaning towards Sufism. You want to tell us a little more about that?
I think, there is a line that I very consciously put in the book, which is that Mr. Rahman, for him, spirituality is not something which is but one aspect of his life. It's something that seeps into every aspect of his life, starting from his work to how he interacts with people to everything. So what I would like to say is, I don't think there's anything about being an opinion maker or anything like that. But what I think is there is, as I said, there is very clear thought. There is very, very clear thought. And more often than not, because of the kind of alignment that he is blessed with, and not many people are blessed with, more often than not, it is the right thought. Sometimes sometimes I've discussed a few personal issues with him sometimes, and he'll just say one line, which is, it's a strong opinion, but I'll just be like, oh my God, why did I not look at it this way? Why did I not think of it this way? How did I miss this? So that definitely comes from Sufism, from spirituality, which is a very, very, very beautiful way of looking at the world.
Right.
And one of my biggest intentions was, which is why I've dedicated, I've put an entire phase of the book which deals with that. Because I think if a lot more people do think this way, if a lot of they incorporate it into their lives, I think this world would be a much, much better place. Yes. So.
Yes. Vinu Nair, Chief Commercial Officer, Trent Limited, to give a little vote of thanks.